You make it easier when life gets hard. Lucky I'm in love with my best friend. Lucky to have been where I have been. Lucky to be coming home again. Initially, I made the first installment of this series and called it Trátalo Tuesday. Don't know why, listening to it over and over again, it just sounded nuts. I just didn't like the way it sounded in my channel. So as of now, my Tuesday segment is going to be called Vamanos a tratar. And it's pretty much like, let's go, let's try it. I hope you're ready for another segment. Today's recipe is, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Are you ready for it? I'm filming this Monday, which is National Wine Day, which is why I'm filming it today. And I don't know if you can tell by the stuff that I have going over here, but this is wine, this is chocolate, and these are the rest of my ingredients. I am making red wine brownies. Y'all know how much I love my red wine. And now I'm going to turn it into a dessert. And you're supposed to serve the dessert with red wine. Let's do it. Vámonos a tratar. The first ingredient is 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. And then we're going to add half a cup of unsalted butter, or in other words, 1 stick. I think the butter melts the chocolate way better than the light cream I used in my previous recipe. If you see it right here, it just looks a lot richer, not so runny. So it's just butter and chocolate is what we're starting off with. And then the recipe just calls to whisk. I've tried not following the instructions and just folding it in with a spatula. It turns out really lumpy and almost dry. The whisk is probably the most important part. Follow the instructions to use the whisk. Next, you're going to want to place the bowl on a towel. Because of all the steam on the bottom, you don't want it to get stuck on your countertop and you can't pick it up later. So right here, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of red wine. The recipe calls for sweet wine. You can use any brand that you would like. Of course, if you know me, you've seen in all my videos which one this is. Then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, followed by a 1/2 cup of regular white granulated sugar. Please make sure to whisk, whisk, whisk. I've tried folding it in with a spatula or a spoon, and the whisk really does make a big difference. The next part of the recipe calls for 2 eggs. It asks that you crack 1 egg, whisk it in, and then add the next egg. It makes a difference in the consistency of the batter. So 1, then 2, then whisk, whisk, whisk. And we're going to add 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour right here. I grabbed my wooden spatula because it was really thick, but I switched back to my whisk afterwards. So right here we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and I guess they're just making sure that the brownies are going to get really, really chocolatey. This stuff smells so good. Between the chocolate, the cocoa, the vanilla, and the wine, I wish you could smell this. Right here we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and of course this is just adding to the smell, but I'm pretty tired of whisking at this point. Right here we're adding 1/2 teaspoon of salt. It doesn't specify what kind of salt, so you can get whatever you like. I prefer the sea salt to the basic store salt. And then that's the last ingredient, so we're going to mix that in. You can see how rich and thick and creamy it is. And now it's time to put it in the pan and place it in the oven. So finally, it's time to spray the pan. You can spray as lightly or as heavily as you like. I overspray because I can't stand the broken bits and when it gets stuck to the bottom. I'm just OCD like that, but you spray as you see fit. This is literally like one of my favorite parts. I just like the way it looks. It's almost like ribbon, the way it just flows so nicely into the pan. It's like real therapeutic. Plus it's time to lick the spoon. Alright you guys, the smell is amazing. Like I know one day they're going to have smell-o-vision. This will be one of the recipes that you want to make once you have smell-o-vision. Between the red wine, the chocolate, and the vanilla, the smell is amazing. So I had already preheated my oven to 350. It's already been put in the pan. Don't mind that. It's just like the bubbly spray from the butter spray. And it has to go into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Then I gotta let it cool and it's all done. So we'll see how it turns out when we're finished. I just wanted you guys to get a better look of how it's looking. It looks so delicious. So now it's time for this bad boy to go into the oven at 350 for like 20 to 25 minutes. And then we're gonna cut them up and place them on the plate. So cut, and then we put them on the plate nice and neat. Yes, I am that person who is all about the presentation. Don't judge me. Alright, you guys, so the brownies are all done. I have my taste tester here, so we're gonna try it out.
Alright, let's get it.
Peep the presentation for my thumbnail in the back. Ready?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna crash.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay, ready? It was at this moment I found my new favorite dessert. Oh, good. Tell the camera how you feel.
You might need a glass of milk, but other than that, it's good.